Hello, this is Rodolfo Leon, and this is going to be gameplay through the Corkbrick Europe Alpha version 1.0.1. So let's start. This is going to be the going through all the mechanics and we'll checking for bugs or any other things that could be improved upon. So first part, we're going to start with the design mode. Design mode is a mode where you essentially can place any type of blocks. So, okay, so uh, I didn't have my my volume up. Okay, okay, so we can hear the ocean. Something that I'm detecting, well, at least like using earphones, is that the ocean is only hearable from my left side. So maybe something about because well, I'm assuming like maybe the ocean is how do you call it, like, well, maybe the ocean is not using the logarithmic method to do the sound. Maybe something about that can be done. So first of all, oh, having the different blocks, I'm going to do one of the Corkbrick solutions. Um, so I'm gonna build it a little bit over here, that it's a little bit more flat. Yeah. So as you can see, sounds have been added, and it's a little bit easier to place blocks in a similar line. For example, here, if I place them here, you can see that they pretty much try to be placed on the side, kind of like following the line. So how many I put here? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 7. For example, here you can see. Just really quickly, I'm gonna move this a little bit. Yeah. So you can see the part. Here you can see that, for example, is telling me that I can place objects in a suitable place. This part is going to tell me things useful when I'm, for example, if I'm trying to place a block inside of another block, it's going to tell me if I eventually don't start placing the blocks correctly. 5, 6, 7, then another 7, and okay, and now from here, 3, 4, 6, 7. Okay, something like that should be okay. Maybe this just I don't know. For example, yeah, this is like, it's like, okay, what are you trying to do? So, okay, so let's start with the middle piece. By pressing shift, it should snap into place. So, yeah, wait, no, it didn't snap correctly. There we go, so it should be there. Okay. Okay, these ones are snapping correctly, but the other one is doing some weird stuff. So, okay, before I place this one, let's like before I place it manually, because if I place it here, like looking at this, it's going to be placed correctly. So what seems to be the problem? Kind of like it's not offsetting. Okay, okay. Let me try something. So if I put this here, and if I offset it over here, yeah, I think yeah. For example, if I place it like this, it's offsetting correctly. Hmm. Okay, that's weird. Um. Okay. Well, for now I'm going to place it like this. Like it should be offsetting in this manner. Also, I think like the placement part, maybe something can be done about the parrots. Yeah. So that sound is the block rotating. So the current system, for example, if you see, it kind of like offsets it to the nearest place, and if I press rotate, it rotates it to the place that it should fit. If I rotate it again, it's gonna see like it can fit there, so kind of like that. I wonder if, for example, I do this, then I place it this here, and then I rotate it. Okay, if I rotate it, it's gonna do it correctly. So maybe by shifting, okay, this is weird because I mean, as you can see, like it does place it correctly, but if we have okay. So if we have this, okay, I'm seeing this. So the problem is if you have kind of like a cross like this, okay, this is something that should be addressed. So for example, if we have this this piece here, and I try to offset it to this side. Uh, okay, yeah, I see that it's doing the offset one more time, kind of like like yeah, like kind of like this block in a way kind of like gets in the way. Why? I'm not sure right now. Okay, yeah, but if I try it on a single block, mm, okay, it's here. Okay. So maybe okay. So every time that I press shift, it yeah, it gets a little bit uh, okay. Kind of like does it one more time. Kind of like it is offsets it, but then it kind of like tries to leave that, or the colliders of the block were changed at one point because yeah, this this was working this version, so maybe it's something around the colliders that was done. Mm, just essentially checking the colliders. Just checking this. Okay, this one. This one is okay. Okay, so okay. Let's do this. I mean, sounds does help a lot. Like having the sounds does help a lot. Okay. Also, I forgot here. There should be this, not this piece, the one that is the three-dimensional. Oh. 3D actually. Like all are three-dimensional, but the one that is called 3D. Okay, so that's gonna be this. It's 1, 2, 1, 2, and this piece. Okay, I'm gonna offset it, go like that, and place it. Okay. I'm gonna build another one. So the way that the building is done, like you can see the part comments, but is pretty much you look at a place, the system sees if that is a suitable place, for example here, then for this type of piece, for example, that is the 3D, it's gonna try to place it a little bit up. Oh well, no, actually this one is perfectly because it's the side. So okay, if I press shift, it, yeah, this is the thing. It's kind of like offsetting it a little bit up. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure why, but it's kind of like if it's trying to offset it one time. Like for example, this time it did it correctly. So for example, if I change from block, for example, if I go from here to one, okay, if I go from this side to this side, it plays it correctly. Okay, kind of like that. Okay, but if I look at this and then it offsets it a little bit, then the offset gets one more. If I do it again, yeah, okay. So maybe checking, like resetting the offset every time that the piece is moved on the same surface. Yeah, that's going to be the solution. So kind of like checking if a piece is moved in the same surface. So kind of like check for small movements on the offset when shifting, or maybe even when shifting, kind of like if I press shift, the offset is going to be what is it called? It's gonna be resetted. Okay, kind of like maybe make the part a little bit less frequent. Yeah, I think that will be nice as well. Well, at least for me, that I already know the controls. I'm pretty much not paying any attention to the parts, but that's just me. Okay, so this was the 7 blocks. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. No, refuse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we have one more, and then 1, 2. I mean, the sounds does make this a little bit, well, no, actually the sounds help a lot because it's a little bit more satisfying to place the blocks with the sounds. Yeah, kind of like, I mean, I'm not sure this is the sound that a core brick does because, well, it's cork. It's not that well, it shouldn't make that much noise as far as I know, or at least not sound like hardwood, but for the time being, I guess it does help a lot, kind of like making the placement a little bit more engagement. So like that, rotate it. Okay, okay. So just like that. So kind of like just need to stop moving to rotate the block. That's kind of like the workflow I'm looking at. It's a little bit more you could say like efficient, kind of like to don't rotate with the other hand, kind of like and when I mean the other hand, it's like I'm playing right now with my left hand and pointing with my right, kind of like don't stop pointing and rotate the object. It's more kind of like you stop moving and then you rotate it, but then the shift mechanic, yeah. Hmm. Okay, maybe all building parts should be on the right side of the keyboard, and all the movement parts should be on the left side, something like that. Okay, so for now, let's keep on building this. So I'm going to start using the 2D blocks. Well, the double blocks, not 2D. Okay, so I wanna look at this side. Okay, okay, there we go. There we go. Over here, it's acting up a little bit weird. Okay, no, it's not. Yes, I guess the bug here will be kind of like um if there's a change, like for example, if there's a change on the side, it is working fine. So like this, like rapidly changing from side to side is okay. But the thing is, kind of like when you go from, let's see, let's try to get an offset error. For example, here it's not exactly an error because it's placing it in that side, and then we can place this. But for example, here I did got one. Let me try. Okay, so if we are looking at, okay, so right now we should be looking at a Y. Okay, okay. Okay, I see. So if we look at this, okay. So we are actually looking. I don't know if we're looking at a block. Let me retry that. Oh, let me recreate that situation just like this. Then we have. Okay, so here we're offsetting on the same Y, and it gets another. Okay, so I think I know what's going on. So if the local normal is the same, kind of like even if it's in another block, then it's going to keep on offsetting. Okay, so the local normal is the one. Okay, so it's local normal checking, and also when pressing shift resetting. So it's if I press shift, I'm gonna reset the offset. Okay, something like that. So I, for example, right now for this to work, I should be looking at this. Okay, I don't cooperate with me right now. Okay, so yeah, definitely the shift. Okay, so right now it's going to be like if I press shift, if I at any time press shift, it's gonna reset the offset because that's causing some problems. And the other one is if I at any time change normals, or I mean, if I change object normals, kind of like if I change object, pretty much we will reset it. And if I change normal, I think that was working. Or I have to check the logic over that. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, that one is working fine. This one, just it's not snapping to that side. Yeah, well, maybe it's something with the collider because right there, if I place it like that, it does work. But if I try to place it kind of like just looking at this block, it's kind of weird. Okay. So let me write down this. Uh, so notes. Uh, Notes is T-shape block. Shift. Reset. No different. Reset. for the offset. Okay, there we go. Okay, so okay. There we go. Okay. Yeah, something like, for example, here we're changing from one normal to one normal, so that's working fine. But the thing was, well, just like checking those parameters. For example, here is offsetting one more than it should, but if you see here, it's leaving the perfect size to put another block. So it's kind of weird. Okay. Uh, okay. Okay, so let's do this a little bit more taller. Okay, there. That was weird because I didn't wait. So why you did that? Okay, this is certainly weird because this is I'm not. Yeah. Okay, I'm not offsetting it, but it's placing it like on top of this type of blocks. Just placing it in the right position, which I mean I don't mind, but it's certainly weird. Yeah, for example, if I look at this block, it's gonna want me to place it like that, but that one was placed just fine, kind of like, yeah, it's weird. Okay, I'm gonna do the shift placing, and then like that, so like that. What I'm doing here is instead of absolutely kind of like rotate it manually, what I'm doing is pressing shift and copying the rotation of the block of the previously of the block I'm looking at, pretty much. So like this, here, well, there's no need to copy the rotation. Also, I missed some blocks over here, so there we go. Okay, so over here, if I copy the rotation, it should be the same. Okay. Also, here should be this piece, and for here there should be this piece, and over here, if I push, okay, there we go. So kind of like that. Okay. Ah, sorry. I opened the map. No, okay. So now let's just do the shift. Okay. Rotate that and do. Well, here we don't have to rotate it. Just the default rotation that we need. And over here is the same case. So it's the default rotation. So it should be like we can even do this. Okay. So something like that. And now over here we do need to rotate it a little bit. Okay. Now, I mean, I guess we have to do this a little bit taller. Yeah, like in perspective of Robinson Crusoe. Yeah, this needs to be at least like a lot more taller. Okay. So something like this. Yeah, if you see, it's weird because it's offsetting it one more time, but I guess that's because we're changing from this type of lock to the other type like really quickly, and because for example here we're looking at the Y and we're changing normals, but if by any reason it's like yes, like like we are looking at this normal, and then we look at a similar normal like this. Yeah, because this is going to be the local normal of this side and this side. Why when I why when I want it to fail, it doesn't? Well, it's not failing. It's more kind of like checking the wrong parameters. So I guess yeah. Well, the thing is, I think that's yeah. For example, there. Yeah. If I'm looking here, I'm kind of okay. It's like from here, here. If I do it really quickly, that's the thing. Okay, if I do it really quickly, it does offset it 2 times. So yeah, maybe just like with any movement, kind of like that. The thing is, checking the offset or kind of like resetting the offset a little bit more, so it does um it does align with the, or maybe even no, no, I was thinking like checking it a little like more times, but no, I guess it's better just yeah, it's better just like resetting the offset if there is a major change on the move, on the kind of like in the Y movements, or well, kind of like in the surface movements. Like for example, right now I was so if I start moving the mouse a lot, well, right now it's not working. Kind of like yeah, okay. Well, it's not that it's not working, it's kind of like the bug is not triggering, but yeah, kind of like if I change from this very quickly, yeah, it does one more offset of the block. Okay, yeah, yeah, it's the same thing that we have been talking about, kind of like uh, for a while right now. Okay, so like that. I mean, when it wants to cooperate, it does the work pretty well. It's just that part, kind of like that part. I'm gonna add that to the yeah. But this like we're not getting any errors. Kind of like yeah. Also this, I mean, I don't mind it if it if that's I think I know why that's going on, because this is kind of like trying to place the block in kind of like okay. Uh, Here, because this block is kind of like mm, we could say not offsetted, because this one, if I place it as it is, it's gonna be just placed on top. But if I press shift, then it's gonna be kind of like moved to the side. But now if we these ones that are pretty much like just placed on top of the block, because they are kind of like the middle part doesn't need to have to be offsetted, then because if you can see like there, it's getting like the best position, like the best suitable position from that um you could say uh, side. So for example, if I keep doing this, it's gonna be offsetting it correctly, because I'm not moving the mouse all around. Yeah, for example here, yeah, I should offset it perfectly on at least on the double blocks. So I mean, I guess that does works really good, at least for this type of buildings, because now I don't have to shift it if I'm placing it on top of a double block. So I guess that's nice. That's nice to have. But just like the other type of setting, that's pretty much for this piece, like the joint piece, like the 1D joint piece. Yeah, I think that one is the one that, and also kind of like some the double block. Yeah, kind of like checking. Well, I just noted here. It's kind of like checking the shift reset and different kind of like different reset objects, and um, it's kind of like also in normal change, kind of like when we change normals. Yeah, kind of like that. Okay, okay. Turu, turu, tu, tu. Turu, tu, 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 tu. Okay, okay. There I got stuck by these blocks. Okay, that's weird. I mean, nothing that can be solved like just like jumping a little bit. But I guess collider should be checked. Like, to don't be that precise. Uh, check colliders of blocks. Okay, there we go. So, okay, okay. We're almost done. Okay. So, from here to here. Okay, so I'm gonna do the shift. Okay. Okay, so I guess this will be tall enough if we have a chair over here, enough like to work. Okay, so now just like these blocks. So yeah, as you can see, like if I offset it, then move it a little bit more, yeah, kind of like that. That shift reset does need to happen. Okay, so at if I look at the 2D block, it don't. Okay, okay, okay. That's interesting because it's the same with this kind of like with this type of block. So if I look at this, okay, it's working fine as well, and I can do the shift solution. It's just like the same thing with the two. Sorry. Okay, so checking that. Okay, yeah, it is working fine. Okay, yeah, it does take its time, but just I think it's it can be quicker than in older versions. So. Okay, we did it. Yeah, that took a lot of time actually. Yeah. Okay. It was okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. I think well that's one of the core solutions on the Corkbrick catalog, and it can be built. Um, I will be checking out these specific things called the T shape. Outside. Yeah, the T shape being a little bit um, how you can say like checking why it is not clipping to the to to the which the 1D. Checking the 1D collisions, also the T collisions, kind of like check the colliders. Then kind of like the reset more the offset, kind of like reset it um when on different normal on different object that should be being done. But okay, so I kind of like check that and also reset on shift and reset on um different uh normal different normal position. Kind of like if I move the piece a lot, but maybe like only with the shift, because a lot of things will be solved. So yeah, right now I'm just messing around with pieces. As you can see, they perfectly fit. Just they're not like well, I'm just using like the freedom that the system gives to kind of like place them as I want. In any weird position. For example, here, this one on 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 paper, this is not how you want to build the rocks, but you can. I mean, it's not the most efficient way to do it, but at least you have the option. So something like that, yeah. And maybe, yeah, if I just place it just like this and press shift, they're going to start getting offsetted, yeah. That's like that. And then I can place one here. Yeah, I mean, you can place the blocks in any valid position. That it's pretty much if you are not inside the block, like for example in this case. But if I'm kind of like just near enough, then you can place it. Okay, so that's all for my video. And yeah, I mean, I didn't have time to go through the crafting actually. Yeah, I will go that very quickly. So let me go to survival. Hmm. Okay, as you can see, there's my my monstrosity. Well, monstrosity is a solution. So yeah. Um, okay, it's telling me that I need water actually. Oh my god. So let me do some water. Okay, okay. I'm getting some water from heating this undrinkable water. Okay, there you go. So should have some cork. Yeah. So the way that the crafting works is you can select what's going to be outputted. You input cork, and then you get that piece back. Pretty much, yeah, pretty much just like that. So yeah, it's really straightforward in that regards. But you pretty much just input cork, you get a piece. Pretty much just like that. Then these pieces can be used as seen before to build, and essentially, yeah, we eventually well, by collecting cork, you essentially will be able to do structures like this one. I use the design mode because virtually there you don't have to craft any type of blocks, and the future work to do will be eventually adding some puzzles, so it's not that easy to transfer through the island, and there's a challenge on why you should be building with core brick. Also, I need to do it. If I don't need, I'm gonna, yeah, I'm gonna also, yeah, I'm gonna drink a little bit. So, yep, that should be the implementation of the crafting system. It's working fine. Building, need to check a little bit of the offset. It's working fine, just sometimes it offsets it one more time, which is not a huge big deal, because in a way, kind of like you can just look a little bit around, and then you will be able to place a block, like um, just to the side of that block, kind of like that, yeah. Um, what else? Well, I guess yes. What that is that the inventory? The inventory has this new sort button. What it does is pretty much if you have a mess on your inventory from collecting blocks and you want them to be arranged, you just press the sort, and then it's going to be arranged on the nearest group. So that's also a quality of life feature that was added. Other than that, there's cork collecting from this type of trees. Also, I need to eat a little bit more. Yeah. So from these trees, you will be able to collect cork. As you can see, I got very few cork right now. It can be, I think it will be kind of like a little bit more randomized. How much cork you get from that. We can get coconuts from palms. You need to shake them a little bit sometimes. Yep. And then from there you can get some nourishment once you, well, you need some nourishment to be able to survive. So yeah, I just get these coconuts, so I don't die on the outro. And yeah, pretty much. So that's the building system working. Just a little bit more quality of life things in the way that yeah, the offset, towards the offset. You can also pick up these stations to virtually these stations won't be scattered around. You essentially will get them through hidden chests, like and not only hidden chests, like you will start with some of these stations, but you will be able to eventually do more of these stations, so you are able to craft props not only here but kind of like wherever you go. You can rotate them as well, As you can see, kind of like the same as with the yeah, pretty much the same as with the with the other type of blocks, and yeah. So essentially that's what we have right now. Apart from that, that should be all. So I'm just gonna go to the menu. Also, the new UI looks really good. Looks a little bit more cartoonish, at least with the buttons, and I do like that. So I'm just gonna exit, and that will be all. So thank you for watching, and I hope this video was entertaining, helpful, and to give you a little bit more of a perspective of how the systems are working right now. Um, Going forward, there are all the Trello tasks, and now that we have the main mechanics, essentially, like just like maybe tweaking them a little bit, but now the challenge will be um, making Transverse the island a little bit more interesting, other than the building, of like a little more engaging, like to have an aim and then use the solutions to go through that through that objective, and to have these you say like yeah, to have this aim and to have these hazards or puzzles to have to complete doing some Cork solutions essentially, um, and from there there will be the catalog. That's not for next week, uh, but will be planned next week with the design team. And other than that, that should be all. So thank you again for watching, and I hope this was useful and entertaining. So bye.